Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today we are looking into moving into greatness, your next most positive event that brings success, happiness, and all those good things in life. It's going to be a milestone moment, like a key moment, turning point for many of you. Please do remember that this is a general reading and not a personal one. So if you are interested in getting personal readings, I do those over on my Patreon. I want to remind everybody that we are using our intuition when we are working with tarot. Tarot is a tool in which to open the mind. It's a tool to help us shift our consciousness in order for us to manifest just a better life, basically, in general. What it is that we need to work on. There's a lot of psychology involved with tarot cards. It is not Hollywood fortune reading, okay? That's not what this is. This is a tool in which to better our lives, better ourselves, work with our subconscious mind to bring it more into the conscious, like to bring it level with the conscious, so it enables us to work on ourselves so that we can manifest what it is that we are trying to achieve or whatnot, okay? I have more on this. I'm going to be talking more on this coming up here on my Patreon account. So for those of you who are not a part of that, you might want to look into that if you want to learn more about this, because there's a lot to it. But it's just such a great tool to use. And remember, tarot is symbolic. There's a lot of symbology in this, okay? Again, we're dealing with the subconscious mind, not the conscious mind. They're completely different. But this is a tool in which a lot of people, like once we reach a certain level of consciousness, like for ourselves, it just becomes easier and easier to gain with the messages, through the tarot. So anyways, we have 3 groups here for you to choose from. Group 1, Group 2, Group 3. Pause the video, get centered, do whatever you got to do in order to select the group that's calling to you. And I do want to mention, if you are feeling really strongly drawn to listen to more than one group, there's a reason for that. And again, this has to do with intuition and trusting ourselves. Trust is a big one here, okay? So go ahead, select whichever group is calling to you, and let's get started. Okay, for those of you who selected group 1 with this particular key, this is going to be your reading. How are we moving into greatness? What is the deal here? We have the 10 of Wands. Look at that. We have the 2 of Swords. We have the 2 of Wands. We have a lot of 2 energy. We have an ending of a cycle happening here. And then we have the Lovers. Nice. And then we have 10 again. Do you see this? So we have 6. We have 2, 2, 10, 10. Wow. And we have riches with Saturn and Capricorn. Okay, I'm going to tell you this. This is like a time period where I feel like that there's a lot of like fear pent up like in your mind of releasing. Like you guys are like feeling kind of like overburdened, overwhelmed right now. And your decision, there's a choice to be made. There's a decision. You definitely are at a crossroads, okay, where you can make a decision and a choice. Like the world is your oyster right now. You are moving into an incredible phase where you can gain, especially through partnerships. This is the Lovers card. This isn't always just about like lovers, but this could be about standing at a crossroads in order to make a decision. I see there's a lot of decision making here. But when I feel like you're putting yourself under undue stress. It's like kind of like ripping off a Band-Aid. Like you're afraid to rip it off because of the pain. But that pain is so momentary. I can't talk right now. Mercury retrograde, sorry. It's just like a moment of pain. And then it's just like no big deal. It's always way worse. And we chalk things up in our head to being much more, like scarier than it really is. Okay. And here's the thing that's kind of lame about this is that we are fearing something that doesn't even exist. Because when you are fearing for something that hasn't even happened yet, okay, you're putting yourself through unnecessary torture, basically, because that is not the current state. The current state is you here right now. And this is one of these kind of things where I feel like there's like a fear of moving forward into the future, especially in terms of relationships. and making a decision. It's like, oh, maybe overwhelming for somebody here, definitely, because the world is at your fingertips. And sometimes some people, they need to be told what to do, okay? But in reality, this is not always a good thing, because people who always like wait for somebody else to make decisions for them are the ones who always end up miserable, because they don't speak their mind. They don't stand in their sovereignty. They don't say, hey, this is not what I want, or whatever, And this is basically with that Saturn and Capricorn. This is telling you, because Capricorn is the 10th house. It's the public eye. Saturn is very enduring. It's long lasting. It's not something you can just shake off in like a short period of time. It is something that is going to last a long time. If you guys are fearing like moving ahead and making a decision, especially in regards to a partnership or even a relationship, realize you are going, like, the more you draw it out and the more you drag it out, the more you are literally putting undue burden and problems on your own shoulders. And this isn't the way to go. Your next moment of greatness is definitely when we are making that decision to, and realizing all the positive, that we can do anything at this particular moment. It's like we can negotiate our way into a better, more riches in our life, like a fuller life. If any of you have been like having really negative attitudes towards, romance or love relationships, especially, or even going into a partnership or working with others, you are literally blocking that joy and that success and happiness, because no matter what in life, if you are trying to be successful, you're going to have to work with somebody else. Whether this, like, say, well, I'm a girl boss, or I'm this and I don't need anybody. Yeah, you do. Because how are you going to get the money unless you have clients? That is working in a partnership. That is working with other people. You have to be more communicative. Okay. I feel like you're going about your communication wrong. Once you realize that you are good at negotiations, and that, you can actually utilize, you may think maybe somebody down in the past has, made you feel like you can't speak your mind or speak your truth, or that you're, oh, that's not the way it goes, or somebody's like constantly shooting you down about your ideas or whatever. You need to realize that that person is coming into your life to challenge you in order for you to speak up and stand your ground. This is a learning lesson. If you guys are constantly being bombarded by relationships like this, and people who are constantly like trying to quell your truth and like not let you speak or contribute or something, this is a challenge for you personally, in order for you to stand in your power and stand your ground. And once you do this and you make the decision to stand on your ground, you have the wonderful capability of wonderful communication. Again, this is Gemini energy, to talk your way into just a better life. I feel like through manifestation, your manifestation really comes through communication and speaking words of affirmation, and through partnership, like reaching out to others. And if you guys are looking to manifest more wealth in your life, I see that, we have Saturn in Capricorn. This is long lasting wealth. And I have to mention that for some people, depending on what your placements are, especially if you are a Capricorn or an Aquarius rising, Saturn is going to be a chart ruler for you. And when this is triggered, it can actually trigger long-term, long-standing relationships. No joke, okay? I speak from experience on this one. You need more than one thing triggered in your chart to bring in a long-standing relationship. But Saturn is going to be very important for you in this regard. So let's take a look at the message here with the 10th house is lit up. I feel like this is something that's very public. Look at the numbers here. 10, 10, 2, 2. Okay, think about it. If we reduce 10 and 10 in numerology, okay, if you don't understand numerology, you're going to have to go look that up yourself. I'm not going to sit here and get into it and explain it. But that's going to equal 2. Again, so we have 2, 2, 2. Partnerships, like you're moving into a phase, your next moment of greatness definitely revolves around a partnership. And I feel for somebody here, this partnership is going to be long-standing, long-term. And for many of you, it's going to be one of these kind of things where it's like, it turns into love. So, Yeah, let's take a look at Saturn and Cappy here, okay, to get to see the message here. So Saturn obviously has to do with, discipline, ambition. It has to do with delays. It has to do with maturity as well. So this all happens, this great moment of greatness where we make this decision to move forward into our wealthy, abundant, rich future, especially with a partner, like deciding that, okay, it's time to meet somebody. I'm ready to have a relationship with somebody, or I'm ready to go into a partnership business wise with another person. This is going to bring you great wealth and riches, obviously. But that's the moment when we decide to release the burdens that we've been carrying for so long, make that decision, negotiate our way into the future. Like, I feel like you guys can manifest, what your heart's desire, but you have to understand what manifestation is, really. And it's not just wishing, okay? You have to take action. And this is about making a choice, making a decision into which path to follow. And when the Lovers arrives in a spread, it usually says that you have more than one decision, more than one pathway, and more than one choice, but you will make the correct choice for you. And again, it's going to bring some sort of wealth and riches. Capricorn is about duty and perseverance. This is a relationship that lasts. And for those of you who are afraid to ask for help, this is definitely one of these messages. Like, your moments of greatness come when you ask for help. Not for people to come in and do all the dirty work for you, but ask for assistance and guidance and advice, okay? How can you stand on your own and be strong if you are constantly whining and looking for someone to rescue you, okay? That's not what we're talking about here. So when the Riches card appears, it usually points towards successful conclusion of a financial arrangement or deal. And this is the negotiation card. This is like, the world is our oyster. This is about decisions and choices, taking calculated risks and being smart about it. So the events are the stock market, dealings with government organizations, involvement in politics. Wow, you guys, receiving an honor of some kind. So these are all like events that could be associated with it. This could be what's your next moment of greatness. For those who are intelligent, about their finance and they're making wise decisions, they could like get some sort of like, reach for advice from somebody, possibly a Gemini or a Capricorn, who is great with the stock market, and say, hey, this is where to invest your money next. And you do it, and boom, voila, success is yours. Some of you guys could be working your way up within a government organization. You guys could even become a politician of some kind, or working like side by side with a politician, or else your spouse is going to be a politician. And, this could be where you're finally receiving, your comeuppance and for working really hard, and you're going to receive an honor of some kind that literally puts you on the right path. It's like you have a choice whether or not to pursue a specific, career path or goal. When you do this, it could lead to greatness and achievement and riches. But again, in order to make this decision, you're going to have to realize there's a little bit of sacrifice here involved. Usually when Saturn is around, there is something like that, and releasing of some kind of burdens and crap. Maybe people are just like loading you up with too many responsibilities that you didn't ask for. You need to learn how to say no. Okay. And follow your true path and realize you are at a position in your life right now where the world is your oyster. What are you going to do with it? You guys have some heavy thinking to do. I feel like scripting it out and, talking words of affirmation and speaking even aloud to yourself in the mirror could help you to decide where to go next. But riches, 10th house matters. Politicians are very 10th house, right? Government organizations, 10th house, honors, 10th house, this is what this is about here. So very, very interesting, guys. So that's it. That's all I have for this reading. Please make sure to like and subscribe. If you want to see more readings or get a personal one, you can head over to my Patreon. The link is down in the drop box below. Do check out Hunting the Empress. It's some awesome reading for your summer chill time or whatnot. So thank you guys for being with me, and I will catch you later. For those of you who chose group 2 with this lovely silver key here. Sorry, I need some water. It's warm. Anyway, this is going to be your reading. Let's see what your next moment moving into greatness. What's your next moment of greatness? What's the next positive event that brings success and happiness? Okay, so what do we got here? We have the 9 of Wands, persevering. Wow, we have Judgment, Pluto energy, rebirth. We have the 2 of Pentacles, very, very busy, multitasking. Oh, here comes an offer of love. You have a lot of potential here for rebirth. It's time to rebrand. I don't know. Okay, so we have Sun and Capricorn with achievement. Again, we're dealing with 10th house matters here. Wow. Pluto is about power, and it is the god of wealth. You know, Pluto is the god of wealth, aka Hades in Greek. But this is about persevering, not giving up, especially on your career goals. You guys need to keep working. It's going to require like some multitasking, but you will receive. There's a lot of potential, like creative potential, and also like emotional potential, like to attract love and feeling satisfaction in your life. But this is going to require, you know, a rebirth, a rebranding, you know, a glow up. Okay. This, like you persevering, the next most positive event is that you are achieving this like love. You're going to be showered with love and affection and achievement via not just your career, but like relationships. And I get the sense where it's like, you just keep yourself busy. You keep going, you keep having it. I feel like you're moving into a very productive phase right now where you're going to be very, very busy, juggling a lot of different things all at once. But this is like, it feels good. It doesn't feel negative. It feels very positive. And because you are persevering and you're putting your nose to the grindstone, you know, it's like you make time out for fun and, you know, self-care, self-love. But then when it comes to work, you just like pour your heart and your soul and you put love behind your work. People are going to recognize this. You are going to achieve greatness for sure with this group. But it's going to require perseverance, hard work, and a rebranding, a complete rebranding of who you are. Like you are going to go through a kind of like a spiritual awakening and a rebirth. You know, I think this group would benefit greatly from doing shadow work, identity work. You know, shadow work is identity work. Basically, it's like we're going deep into the psyche to overcome obstacles and fears that have been holding us back and working with them to heal and achieve greatness, basically, to really come into our own. Shadow work is never something to be feared. It is something that, I want to do it all the time because it helps. I know what it does. It makes you great. It doesn't make you, you know, there's no fear involved in it to me. For some people, they might, because they just like are chalking it up to something negative. Thank you, patriarchy, you know, and religious pressures. This is what can make people think the word shadow is something bad or evil, but it's really a part of your psyche. And it's something that needs to be overcome. It is the fears. It's maybe negative attitudes. Maybe some of you are like really jealous about other people or something. That is something that needs to be worked on, like really bad. Okay. That is, you know, I'm not going to get into it, but jealousy really fucking sucks. People who constantly like shit all over you when you are having successes because they're jealous are the worst kind, as far as I'm concerned. You know, when you're happy, you're feeling great, they try to bring you down because they're jealous. Well, you know what? They need to realize that those things can be theirs as well if they just get off their ass and work for it and stop freaking worrying about what everybody else is doing and start worrying about themselves. This is what, you know, I feel like many of you have been persevering and really working on yourselves to achieve greatness. I see that rebirth coming. You're going to be quite busy with opportunities and different things. But I feel like in order to achieve that greatness and in order for that next beautiful Ace of Cups, you know, to really utilize this potentiality for great love in your life, you're going to have to realize you just don't get handed something for nothing, that there is, you know, perseverance, and you're going to have to work, get your hands dirty, and it's going to require some work here. And it's going to have to involve a shift in your consciousness as well as the way you look at yourself and the way that you look at others. Pluto can be a very dark, you know, uncomfortable energy. And it is involved with a lot of, you know, really kind of shady things in life. If you guys are holding on to the negative aspects of Pluto, it's time to release those and be reborn. It's like through the darkness, we become the light. And this is one of these kind of situations where you need to get wise, get privy, get illuminated into the situation and realize that you make your own path in life. You are the one who controls your future. You can't point fingers and blame everybody else because you make shitty choices, you know? This is one of these kind of things where it's time to accept responsibility. And when you do this, it's like you just keep going. You work on your image. You work on yourself, the way you present yourself, you know, and learn, you know, this is going to sound kind of, I don't know who needs to hear this, but learn some manners, learn respect for others and things like this. And then you are going to be handed opportunities right and left because people are going to want to work with you because you exude positive power instead of all the negative attributes and crap that, you know, the low vibrational shit on the low vibe side of Pluto. Now think about it. Pluto, thanks to, you know, wonderful ass deep space freaking telescopes. It is so cool to see the surface of Pluto. It has a big old heart on it, you guys. Heart, love, okay? Through truly understanding what love is and self-love, it opens up your heart. You can't just have whatever, like literally, in order to find love in your life, and you know, you have to become love, but you have to realize you have to be a brave person to truly love. Because when we love someone and we pour ourselves out there and we put our heart out there, you know, there is always the possibility of somebody stomping on it or getting hurt. Understanding that the people who want to do that kind of stuff are broken and have things that they need to work on. It's kind of like you have, I don't want to say pity, but yeah, sometimes it is kind of that, but it's more like empathy for people who have gotten over their shit. It's like, I see people like this and I just shake my head and go, oh, you poor soul. You're never going to move past this pain and move past your blame game until you realize the commonality in all of this is you. You know, yeah, you know, I've had my fair share of people like this in my lifetime. And it's like, you know, they wonder why they can't achieve greatness or achievement. It's because they have shitty attitudes and they're just straight up mean, you know, and it's like they wonder why, you know, they can't, because nobody wants to work with somebody who's an asshole, period. Okay, that's just the facts. When you put on a positive image and, you know, you put your best foot forward and you come at situations from a place of love and compassion, watch what happens. You are stepping into the wave and you're riding the wave of love, basically, which is going to attract love to you. Through this transformation and really, you know, working on yourself spiritually as well as your career, because I feel like there's some link to the career here because we're dealing with Pentacles, in bringing your love and achievement into your life, okay? We have to come at things from a place of love always, okay? And remember, Pluto on the surface has that heart. Because think about it. if you were Lord of the underworld and you're watching all these souls and you are like literally the host, and a gracious one at that, because if you've ever done your studies or read about Hades, he's not an asshole. He's quite hospitable and he's compassionate and he's fair and just. He's like literally just like, I love it. I love that energy. I think it's beautiful. But it's like his words are so sweet that it makes you want to stay and, be in his realm and stuff. Like he's the wonderful host. So, okay. Yeah. Why wouldn't you want, this is like the kind of the attitude and, power you need to exude to bring in this moment of greatness and definitely to attract more love into your life. Love is the situation. Love is the deep potentiality. What's the opposite of love, you guys? I mean, come on, let's think about this. Maybe some of you are wallowing too much on the opposite end of things and you need to come into the lighter side of things and when I say lighter, I mean like physical energy, feeling lighter, removing, anything like old ways of thinking. Persevere, keep going. There's going to be days when it's hard. You're going to have rough days and then you're going to have great days. That's life. Not everything's hunky-dory, shooting rainbows out your ass. That's not life. It goes like this. It ebbs and flows. And you riding that wave, but you doing it from a place of love, man, you can achieve so much. And once you do that, there comes the achievement. I mean, this is fucking fantastic. So the sun in Capricorn, by the way, this could have something to do, think about it. If you have sun in Capricorn or when the sun moves into Capricorn, this could be a special time period for you. But the sun always has to do with fortune, fame, success, wealth. But what happens if it goes into the negative? All planets, all zodiac signs, everything has positives and negatives to it because that's, again, life. The sun can scorch you. It can burn you. Too much of a good thing. You know what I mean? But in this case, we're dealing a lot with fortune. You're going to be very fortunate. Capricorn is about duty and perseverance. This is the perseverance card. This is someone who's been through hell and back, but they are not going to give up. They're not giving up on love. They're not giving up on themselves. This is the key here. Once you get into this mindset, there's nothing you can't achieve. When this card shows up, it indicates a powerful moral sense and a feeling of obligation to set a good example for others. Exactly. You are setting the example. This may be because one has been chosen or promoted to a role, a position of power of some kind. But you are setting the example. So think about that. Do you want to be a prick to everybody, or do you want to be magnanimous, kind person who's compassionate and loving, therefore spreading out more love and compassion into the world? Okay, I think we're done. We've had our fill with a-holes, right? It's time to be that compassionate and spread more love in the world. That is your role here. So the events are commitment to a project, great responsibility, recommendation or distinction in some activity, help of influential or famous people. You guys could even look to somebody who has achieved whatever your goal is, and then like read their biographies or go watch them speak, or, attend events where they're going to be at and listen to them talk or whatever. Find examples in the field that you want to go into, especially, and listen to what they have to say. Maybe it's just, reading books about how to achieve greatness and how to open your heart, how to overcome pain, how to heal and really become that compassionate person. You might be taking like a spiritual sojourn in order to do this. The point is, you open yourself up to this potentiality because aces are always potential. It's the potential is there. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to use it to transform your life, persevere and keep going? You're going to get real busy, and it's going to be a very positive kind of busy. It's like you are kicking ass and taking names when you do this, and then you will achieve your goals. Or are we going to go dark side here and persevere in like the negative, shadowy, icky part? Or are we going to pull ourselves out of that? And we are going to radiate love. That's where we achieve that greatness. Seriously. Okay, guys. So anyway, that's all I have for this group. Please make sure to like, subscribe. If you like this reading and want to see more of them, there's hundreds of them over on my Patreon. If you're looking for a private personal reading, I do those over there as well. Do check out my website for more information on Hunting the Empress. It is really nice, spicy reading for summer. Catch up before book 2 comes out. So anyways, that's it. Thank you for everything, and I will catch you next time. Bye-bye. Okay, for my last group 3 with this particular key, let's see where you are moving into greatness, your next positive event that brings success and happiness. Holy shit. Speaking of moving, we have the Cancer card. We have the Chariot. We have, we have the Knight of Wands. We have the 6 of Cups, and we have the 2 of Cups. Oh my, my, my. And then we have Sun in Scorpio. The 8th house is lit up here. Great intimacy here with endurance. Your next moving into greatness, your most positive event that brings you success and happiness it revolves around travel. There is not only an outward journey involved here, but an inward journey, because the Cancer card here, this is Cancer. So Cancer and Scorpio are definitely coming up here. These are both highly emotionally charged signs too, by the way. There's some heavy duty, passionate, intimate, emotional energy that's coming through here. I mean, that's fucking straight up powerfully sexy and sexual and very like spontaneous and a little bit impulsive, because we have that Knight of Wands. But when we are going to be doing a lot of traveling, not just outward, like to a foreign place or a different place we've never been before, but within, like this whole experience is going to change you within forever, and how you view relationships and love. And, you know, this is all about that inward spiritual journey. You guys could be doing some astral traveling, even like events that could be happening. Like you could like be planning a trip, right? And then all of a sudden you start having these crazy ass dreams where you can straight up be astral traveling to the place you're going to be going to, and you realize that you have had a past life here. When you're on this travel, you are going to meet somebody who is definitely, you have shared this time period with. And there is such a strong, intimate, close bond with this person. And it's so loving and endearing. And it's just like, it's something that has lasted through eternities. Okay. Because look, we have 8. We flip it over onto its side. It's eternity, right? Okay. 8 is also a power number. It's the number of wealth. Okay. So Sun in Scorpio. So especially if you guys, those of you who are traveling when the Sun is in Scorpio, this could be important. Or if your birthday, if you are a Scorpio and your Sun is in Scorpio, this could be important. I'm also getting Leo vibes here. If you guys are traveling during Leo season, you know, obviously we have Cancer mentioned here too. That could be like the top 3, Leo, Cancer, Scorpio. But what I'm seeing here is this is definitely angelically guided. It's divinely guided. It's meant to happen. This relationship is not just some casual thing. It is going to change you. This is going to bring you great success and happiness. I feel like a lot of happiness. Being with this person is quite special. It's like you're never going to meet another person like this in this lifetime. Because again, you guys share many lifetimes. For some of you, okay, this could even be a traveling back to your home. Like if you've moved far from your home, you're taking a journey, a trip back to where, you know, your roots are. And this could be when you meet this person. Also, this person could definitely be, you know, from a different background than you. But this is about traveling. This is about taking action. None of this will happen unless you take action. And you do, you know, this is about like, I feel like you guys need to really contemplate and think and sit down what it is that you really want out of life at this particular time. And really go within and be honest with yourselves. If you guys, I mean, there's a lot of people out there who just want love or they want wealth or whatever because they want to pull clout and like rub it in other people's faces. These are the ones who never achieve that, or else if they do, they get it all taken away because they're doing it for the wrong reason. So there's always going to be like some harsh lessons with that kind of attitude. So this is kind of one of these situations where with this card coming out first, it's like you just get it. It's like you're finally understanding what it is that brings you joy, what it is that brings you peace and happiness. You're feeling very strong, very comfortable within yourself. You've done like the inner work and you continue to do inner work for the rest of your life. This is one of these things you realize, hey, it doesn't just happen once. You have to do it forever. It's like, yeah, you do. It's not something that, you just pass off. It's like every month, like maybe with each lunar cycle, starting with the new moon, you set down your goals, what you wanted to achieve during that lunar cycle. And then by the full moon, we reevaluate if we haven't gotten there yet. We formulate a new plan for the next new moon cycle, during the dark moon and, the waning moon. It's like we go within and we contemplate, like this is when we formulate our next plan. And then on the new moon, we start it up again. I feel like this group, like you achieve greatness, especially when you work with the lunar cycles, considering Cancer is your first card here, which is ruled by the moon. So your moon placement could have a lot to do with how you view life, how you view relationships. I feel like you have the capabilities to really attract wonderful partners. And again, this particular partner is life-changing. And this is something that will endure and last. This is that next move. It has something to do with traveling and movement and you taking action. Like once you really start going for it and you start on your path and you do this traveling, you be adventurous, you come outside your shell. Cancer is the crab, where it puts this hard, like boundary exterior because it's hiding that soft, mushy inside heart. But once you drop that, and guess who else is like this? Scorpios. Y'all are like that too. Because think about it, crabs and scorpions, they kind of look the same. They have those like shells and the stinger for the freaking Scorpio. The crab's got the claws, it's like, yeah. We need to realize not everybody's out to get you. Okay. Not everybody's a bad person. And once you get over your fear of intimacy and love, this is when magic starts to happen. And I feel like this journey, this sojourn is really gonna fucking open you up to adventure, because meeting this person, they're no slouch. Look at him, like this right here. He's wrestling that lion. He's on a rearing steed. He's like super into you. This is like you've known each other in the past before. There's that loving camaraderie, like it's just so magical. The way they're gazing into each other's eyes, it's like, holy shit, but this is somebody who's very active. They're not a sit on their ass kind of person. They are going to, seriously, I feel like if you're one of those kind of people who's a couch potato, you better start working out because you're going to have to be able to keep up with this person. Seriously, they don't sit on their butt at home. They're very, very go, 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 go. Again, it's because probably they're not from the United States, okay, or Great Britain. They're from somewhere else. I don't know. It's like, it's very interesting. They're very, very active, very like, I walk around a lot. This is how we get around. We don't fucking take cars, I don't know. It's interesting kind of vibe. I don't know who needed to hear that, but somebody did. So we have the endurance card. When this comes up, it indicates a compulsive curiosity in the deeper mysteries of life and an interest in self-improvement through strength of will. Yep. Oh my God. Wow. Often this card draws the attention to a period in which a great challenge must be met with equal tenacity. Some dealings with taxes, legal matters, or the handling of finances of other people will also be prominent. So for some of you, this could even be a work trip, okay? But this is no ordinary trip. It's like, I feel like on the trip, you'll have time for your personal time too. So it's going to be quite magical. So the events around this card are situations requiring extreme effort or self-control, those involving propaganda or persuasion, power seeking, an obsessive cause or interest, or making a drastic life change. I honestly feel it is the drastic life change. But if any of those things that I just mentioned, like trigger some, tingly feelings or triggers your tells and your intuition or whatever, then you need to pay attention to what was said. But I do feel like this requires, a very spiritual, drastic change, especially in how you view partnerships and love, because there is somebody who will be appearing where you have had an eternity together and you always will. This is like a soul who is meant to travel throughout time with you because you are a part of each other. It's quite magical, quite intense. And I feel like you guys have some healing to do, hence the reason why you're coming back together. Maybe you guys have been like separated and torn apart many times before. I feel like this person has had to go away to war and you've lost this person in previous lifetimes. That's really coming through strong. But in this case, it's like you guys, this is meant to endure this time. And it's finally, the sun is shining on you. It is your time. And it's like there's always been some kind of hiccup or some kind of separation or some kind of drama or something, the way that things have been in the past. But in this time around, it is something completely different. Again, that's what lifetimes do. It's different things. We are here to learn different things, but there's some healing here. And finally, this is your moment in the sun. Okay. This is quite special, quite magical, that, the energy that I'm picking up here. I'm getting some like tingles, especially in my legs. Again, I felt like this person's quite active. They might have really nice legs. Like they work out and, I feel like they've got a really athletic body. But they're very, very charming. Yeah, very, very interesting. And it's like, you guys are kind of like, I feel like this is kind of like the situation here. Like, you guys are like salt and pepper when you're together. It's like the way that you guys look. It's like you guys are make quite a striking couple because like one of you could have really light hair and the other one has really dark hair. It's like something like this, or your skin tones or whatever. It's like you just striking. And it's like people look at you and go, wow, and they can exude, like they can literally feel the love and the power when you guys walk into a room. And like it's so obvious that you guys are into each other. That's like what I'm feeling here. So anyways, guys, so that's it. Please make sure to like and subscribe. If you'd like to check out more readings like this, please do head over to my Patreon. The link to that is in the drop down box below. I have several tiers that you can check out there, including personal private reading tiers. Do check out my website. Pick up a copy of Hunting the Empress and get caught up on the reading there before book 2 comes out. So thank you guys for everything, and I will catch you next time. Bye-bye.